State your name, occupation, and where you live.
My name is Pete Rock. I'm from New York City, originally from the Bronx, Mount Vernon, New York, and you know, hip hop producer, DJ. Been doing it since I was 15 years old.
How do you start your day?
I start my day with a cup of coffee, right? Taking my son to his to school. You know, starts off with getting him up, which is I really get up at around 7:30 to get him ready, brush his teeth. And if I need to give him a bath, make him his breakfast, and then off to school. And then I have the day to myself to make beats all day, which is the greatest feeling in the world.
Where's your favorite place to eat a meal?
Oh man, there's so many restaurants from Jamaican to Japanese steakhouses. You know what I'm saying? There's one in the city called Gaikaku, which I love, where they bring out raw meat and you cook it yourself. You know, I always like to see my stuff getting cooked, so that's a great restaurant. And you know, the salad is the bang out and their wine is good. That's all I need.
What's your drink of choice?
Red wine, Patron, and cranberry juice.
What's the last movie you've seen?
The last movie I seen was, ooh, that's a good one. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2.
Who's your hometown hero?
Hometown hero, like from my hood, or just Heavy D? I have to say Heavy D is my hero. And my cousin.
What city would you adopt as your second home?
As my second home, Jamaica. Probably Kingston or Manchester. I just, you know, it's just the weather and the food and the tropicalness, and, you know.
At home?
At home.
What do you keep by the side of your bed?
On the side of my bed, my 2 night tables with lamps on it. And then I have a picture up above my bed with my son, my wife, and then, you know, one of them king size joints. We're about to get a new bed though, but anyway, you know.
What's your purpose?
My purpose, I think my purpose here is to make people feel good on the inside when they hear good music, you know what I'm saying? And to bring people together.
What's the last book you read?
Last book I read was a book by Robert Pattinson. Damn, I forget the title. I'm not finished yet, but I'm reading it now. Like when I get on flights and stuff, I pull out, you know, books to read. So, but I love his novels. He has great stories.
Who would you cast in your dream concert lineup?
In my dream concert lineup, that's a good one. James Brown, Rakim, Isaac Hayes, Nice and Smooth, Gangstar, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, who else? Stack Bundles, who else? Red Cafe. You know, I would say everybody though.
Quote a song or a poem.
A song or poem. Let me see. Quote. Any song? Let me think of a song. This might take me a while because you got me off guard. Alright, let me see. R-E-S-P-C-T. Girl, you know me to me. R-E-S-P-C-T. Respect. Everybody wants respect.
Where is your favorite place to go to be alone?
Oh, in my lab, in my studio. That's where I find solace.
Tell me 5 names stored in your phone.
Stored in my phone. My wife. Okay, Elijah, who's my son. Sky, who's my daughter. My wife, Shara. A couple of rappers. And a couple of just important people in the industry. You know what I'm saying?
If you could spend the day with anyone, who would it be?
You know, there's the people that I would have liked to spend time with are no longer here, like Biggie and James Brown, you know, people that I would have loved to have been around, you know, Tupac. I've been around Tupac, I've been around Biggie, you know, they know me well, you know, we're the same sign, we're all Geminis, so, you know, we kind of connect, and same thing with Kanye.
How do you know when you're in love?
Oh man, you feel it right here, whew. Right there, just, it's like a Cupid shooting you in the heart, that shit just, bow. Sometimes, you know, lots of people say they don't believe in love at first sight, but I do. It's happened to me.
Can you cook?
Yes.
What can you cook?
I can cook. Man, and I don't mean just regular shit. Like, I be getting it in, you know, from, well, the barbecue, that's easy stuff. But I'm talking about, like, Jamaican dishes, like curry chicken and rice. So I use jasmine rice and make all kind of exotic vegetables. You know, things that my son can grow nicely into a very handsome young man.
What do you do with the clothes you no longer wear?
Salvation Army, give them away. Like, I had bags of sneakers that I gave to the people in Haiti. You know, so I felt good about that.
What do you think of when you hear the word sword?
When I hear the word sword, GZA's album, Liquid Swords.
What's in your pockets?
What's in my pockets? Money, trees, and my wallet. This is interesting interview.
When is the perfect time to say goodbye?
The perfect time to say goodbye? It depends on what context it's in. You know, if it's in a bad relationship, you know, you want to walk away and say goodbye, it's the perfect time to, you know what I mean, do it early before shit hits the fan. Or, you know, the perfect time to say goodbye, I don't think there's a perfect time to say goodbye. You know, there's lots of people that we say goodbye to that we really don't want to say goodbye to, that left the earth, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, but the perfect time to say goodbye, I guess, is when the time presents itself.
How do you sleep at night?
I don't sleep at night. I don't sleep. I go to bed 3, 4 in the morning at times because I'm up making music, or I just can't go to sleep, you know. But I was told that, you know, as you get older, you really have to get your sleep in. It's very important. It keeps you younger looking. You know, I just turned 40 years old, so, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm the big 4-0.
What do you regret?
What do I regret? What do I regret? That's kind of personal. Now, let me stop. What do I regret? I regret not working with Biggie more. I regret not working with Biggie more. And that's a good one. And Guru as well. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. I've worked with Guru on the Ballhead Slick album, and that was the only thing we ever done. But as far as us being friends and having the friendship was where it was most important for me, more than the music.
How would you like to be remembered?
As one of the greatest hip-hop producers to ever do it, to start from a little 15-year-old DJ into one of the greatest producers that stood his ground and didn't sound like anyone else, and had his own name and limelight, so forth, and, you know, and realized his peers before him. And I want to be remembered as one of the top hip-hop producers that was the most influential.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.